see if the mic works.
Let her talk.
Hello everyone.
Welcome to our channel again.
Okay. This is Kayode Akano.
Hi everybody.
This is not Akano, it's Akano.
I was saying God, you never say Akano. I don't know why I like to say Akano. I
It's
don't
second one people that will say Akano.
You are not alone.
Okay, see, come on.
I want me.
He become multi-media.
When they were saying Akano, when I was like, this is Akano, wow. This is Kayode. It has to be Yoruba. This is Abimbola. Is Akano?
Is Akano?
Akano is not Yoruba.
It's not like Akano.
There's
It's
not-
pronounced Akon.
Akon.
Oh, your boy, Yoruba name.
It's Zodenki.
Akande, Akanji, Akanwo.
That's what they call Aina. It's of Aina. They call it Aina because of the spelling. Aina. Even though it's A-N-A, so Maria. Yeah. Please don't make that mistake.
I'm not calling them again. Because I can't make sure that
I will do.
Hey guys, you're welcome to our channel again. It's been a long time, okay, 2 weeks. But we're here again. That's the most important thing. So with me today we have very important personality.
Interesting persons.
And we're also talking about something very sweet today. Very interesting because they passed through the stage, and as our forerunner, we brought them here to come and discuss about it. because from our mouths, it's not going to be sweet, but people that have passed through it, they have encountered it, they can now talk about it.
Yes.
So I don't want to introduce them. I want them to introduce themselves and themselves. Like John the Baptist is to introduce themselves.
You have ulterior motive.
Whatever. Introduce yourself. So, please, you're welcome to the channel. Introduce
Again.
yourself to our viewers.
Okay, my name is Abimbola and this is Kayode Akano. My husband. Abimbola.
Abimbola and Kayode Akano.
You are Abimbola Kayode Akano.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Kayode Akano is
Yes.
a compound
name. Yes.
Oh,
See,
okay.
you've not changed your subject. See my daily compound subject. No, it's not.
Ma'am?
It's boring. So, guys, today we're talking about sex, having children,
Yeah, and pregnancy,
pregnancy, and all of those things. We're talking about it. I got to know we attended the same church, and I remember we had surprise bridal shower for them. And when they asked what was their experience with their pregnancy, and the husband was like, they didn't want this child, they were not planning to have a child yet. And I was thinking, after 2 years, maybe they taught us in marriage counseling that the purpose of marriage is to have children.
Yeah,
So after telling us after 9 months, God will do it. You're going to come for prayers, and if you are after 3-4 months, I remember when it was after like 3 months, mommy sent me a picture of
Yes, so.
the oja that she used to carry me. She now said, this is the oja I used to carry you. Oja means what they used to wrap baby. I carried you, you also carry a child.
And my mom too, that's me. Oh, there's no problem. She's worried, she doesn't want to pressure me. She will tell me, everything's fine. Okay, I'm not disturbing you, but do you even do family planning?
So,
I said no, so there are those things.
so they waited for 2 years.
Yes.
A year and
A year
plus,
and 7 months.
and 7 months. That's almost 2 years before having
Before it happened.
Before it happened. So what was why did you decide to wait before having, because in this part of the world having children is like one of the fruit. That's to show that the man is okay.
In fact, it's
to show that the man is
It's a fruit of the spirit.
yes. So why did you wait? Why did you decide that we don't want to do what everybody's doing? Why did you wait before having children?
You go first.
Okay. By the time we met each other and we were planning marriage, we had a discussion around childbirth, sex, and all of that. And the truth is, I know people don't believe this when we say it, but we were both novice when it comes to sex. So we got married as novice, and my husband was one that raised the idea that okay, let's enjoy ourselves for the first 2 years of marriage.
Wow.
And the calculation was based on we were not living together. He was in Port Harcourt and I was in Ibadan. So we've not even started exploring sexually. So let's wait. Even in marriage. So let's wait till we are together. Then a year after living in together as couple, let's understand ourselves initially. then we know our weaknesses and all of that. By the time we understand each other, then we can decide, yes, a child can come in now. We have to be, financially ready, psychologically, because I know a lot of people say that you have to be financially ready. But beyond being financially ready, you also have to be ready mentally. If you're not ready mentally, just be ready for depression in pregnancy. Because it's something I experienced, and my husband not being with me, it made it very, very difficult to cope with.
So the real reason you guys waited was to give yourself time to understand each other, both sexually and
majorly sexually. I want to know what I am capable of doing in the other room. So if I'm not doing well, let me, be better at it.
And of course, enjoy it.
Enjoy it and get to those style, those peak, and you know that sexually I am satisfied. So if a child comes into play, because presently our sexual life is not the same as it was before we had a child.
Hey, no, that makes
so let's.
Against my wish, against my will, against my command.
It's not fair.
Not the same.
Oh Jesus.
So before we get to that point where we start having third party.
Let me come in. So what happened is, growing up, I've always been very curious about sex. I got born again at 11. Obviously, no game for you. And I was curious about sex.
No.
Exactly. So when I met her, and then she was my first relationship, and I was like,
wow.
Oh wow.
Yes, we are going to hold the body. We won't fall into the fall before it's time and all of that. But I already told her, see, all those get married and then start having children. No, it's nonsense. I'm not. When I got single, that's after leaving school, went for youth service and started staying on my own. I found out it was then I appreciated what my parents did for me. I love milk so much, I love sugar, but I found it difficult to put on my table. Because you have to fuel the car, you have to go here, you have so many things you have to do and all that. So I'm like, come to think of it, I've not taken gari and milk in like 3 months. And at my parents' house, it's always there. So I'm like, this is how much burden children mean to parents. Can you imagine if I was married and I had a child who would have to take these things? It's a simple Let that child wait. Yes, the world will not come to an end.
Sincerely.
Exactly. Let that child wait, because I thought through it and I realized when children comes into marriages, they change your life forever.
Completely.
You can't just pick up your bag.
People will not tell you.
You can't just do anything. So I said for the first 2 years, I don't want to have a child. Let me chop you. That's my word. Let me chop you.
Let me swallow you.
Exactly.
Let me drink of your wine.
My office colleagues will say, no, take it gently with the lady. I said, take it gently my food. Where were you when I was fasting?
Let the rest of your wine satisfy.
So that was the plan. And then she was in school. I was coming from Port Harcourt to Ibadan and all of those things. So we wanted to see each other. So every time we came around, it was fire for fire. It was
back to back.
Glorious weekend. Forget it. I look at all my friends that thought they were having sex before mine, and you people don't know anything. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. Just leave it like that. I was very innocent before I got married. And I became wild.
Extremely wild.
Forget the screen saver. I'm wild.
Forget the screen saver.
Hey! I'm quite so that we used to look at this show.
The keyboard is going, you do not know what's going on. They don't write on people's face. So basically,
Victor, I know you're watching this video. Victor,
so that was the concept for me was, let us get to live the life of just you and I. Before a child comes in and then we can't get a control of our own.
Okay, yeah. So moving on. So now, but it happened eventually, and I presume that it happened when you weren't expecting it. So how did you cope with the reality of this thing not happening?
Even before that, because I'm really interested in this matter. Because some of us are sitting on that table that we not have tried before until after 1 million years and all of that, and things happened. So what would you say? Because I actually feel that when people argue, like I this WhatsApp group I used to be of, I am on. You were there because before you left. You wanted to ask when you left. There's this WhatsApp group where people were talking about. Somebody said she gave birth after 3 months she got pregnant. I said you were careless. There's nothing else about it. I said, did you do family planning? She said no. I said, so what were you planning to do? Did you use condom? No. So what were you saying? We thought we are breastfeeding and
they're taking calendar.
And all of those things. So what would you say? What would you say was your mistake? how do you think you could have?
Or what did you do and what did you not
Do the hair. And for those who want to be able to wait, some people they don't know what to do, because I realized that I when we wanted to get married, I had to go to a hospital to ask what are the ways to do all of those things. I know that, and that's from that, because I remember I went to the hospital, just like,
We should talk about that.
what's your problem? How can you say you don't want to have
People are looking for this child.
nonsense? What's your problem? Can you call
They
it?
even took your promiscuous.
Yes, and I was telling her that, ma, please, I want this. She was like, hey, come bell. She not called another number. Come and hear this story. You understand? So, what are the things? And you're a nurse too, so it makes it easier for us. What are the precautions to take? What did you do? What did you not do? What do you think that if you had done this, you would be able to wait for the 2 years that you wanted to wait for?
Okay, so let me go first then.
Okay.
So as a man, I realized that it takes two to tango. She got pregnant and all that. Oh my God, I'm hoping this one. I'm sorry about that. I was hoping that actually it takes two to tango. And then so the girl got pregnant. It's because she made her pregnant. I said I was going to take that responsibility upon myself. So I read a lot about sex and how women get pregnant, the cycles, and then family planning to the best of my. I didn't go for a class, but I read it. There's enough online and all that. So I didn't want all the bills and all of those things for hormonal things. So we had to do this. And then being that she's a nurse, she's going to talk about that. So she knew the cycles, know your cycles and all that. But for me, I knew that, okay, as a man, you can't afford to go all the way if you don't want a child. You have to withdraw.
At some point.
At some point.
So of course I've never had sex before. Prayer, yeah. The first time when I actually had an ejaculation.
Withdraw from prayer.
The first time I actually had an ejaculation, I saw, oh, this is how it looks like. Oh yes.
You be like,
so I always watch that for that feeling. Once it's coming, whatever the level of pleasure you think you are feeling, just stop it. Because
that is the point I am also eating the pig.
Guys,
yes.
It's not easy.
Doctors tell you that withdrawal method is not family planning.
It's not easy.
So I always went into sex with that at the back of my mind. This is going to be 20 million naira, a 24-year project. Actually, start with pampers and clothes and all of those things. You can't afford to ejaculate inside that. That's the first thing. So you always withdraw. Then try not to have sex when she's ovulating. Then the next thing is there is semen that comes. They call it pre-cum also.
Yeah.
Once you have felt that, just withdraw and stop doing whatever you are doing. Because anything after that is probably a go. Just once you have seen that, I'm going to urinate. So I always save myself. I want to go and urinate because I've read that the urine washes the tract. Anyway, so let me just go and urinate. I know that the next pre-cum I have after that is enough for tonight. Whatever we are doing, whatever the round.
That was your mindset.
That was what I was doing. That was what I was doing and all of those things.
You're jealous for one.
Until one day I lost control.
Hey!
That time we had not seen each other for 2 good months, and body is already thirsty and hungry for this thing. You cannot
checking dates and the same become waiting.
So
I just went and shoot fire.
I thought
he did not even shoot it at once. He tried to go and urinated like 50 meals. Let's continue. Another 50 meals.
The way you are doing your hand,
it was repeated.
It was a repeated episode. Then for me, I think I don't have a very regular cycle. Some months is 30 days. Some months is 32 days. Some other months is 28 days. But one thing is I have come to understand my body, which is very important for a woman. You must understand your body. So I know when I am ovulating. I know when I am not. When I know that I am not ovulating, we can have sex without condom. Because sometimes we use condom. I don't like condom. Personally, it doesn't like condom. It's not the same. It doesn't like it. It's not the same. But times when we feel okay, it is very risky, and I enjoy him ejaculating inside of me. So days I know that I want to enjoy this thing to the fullest, please let's use condom. On other days when I know that okay, I am not ovulating and I am sure that I am safe, we go all the way without condoms. And another thing is, I actually was thinking of getting an IUD, but what stopped me from doing that is one, the healthcare facility. I'm a very finicky person, so when it comes to opening, inserting, and all of that. I had the first experience of somebody putting something in my vagina when I went for pap smear, this cervical cancer screening, and I realized this thing is not easy. They will go in there, hold your cervix, and it's very painful. I do it for people, but I don't understand the level of pain they go through until I experienced it. So I told myself, I am not ready to do this yet. So we decided to, okay, it depends on him. You have to be very, very cautious about it. Then I also have to take responsibility. So it was a joint decision. It was a joint responsibility that we took, that, okay, this is what we want, and we stood by it.
And one thing that's very very interesting about you guys, that you read about it.
We did.
Yes.
We read
so,
why.
And you are a nurse. So there are many people that don't have that opportunity. I mean, I know there's something I want to do. I don't have energy for this. I just went to the our health care centers are keen on family planning. So you just go, they will give you, they will talk rubbish, but just tell them, a face in continue power be by the, of course, when you insist.
Give me what I want.
When you insist. So there are different ways. Some of them are not hormonal. Some people even do the hormonal. Some people are very bold.
Yeah, we thought of doing this thing after I had Jaden.
Okay.
But one of his senior friends, that is like an uncle to us, after they had their own first child, they went to the hospital and the wife had family planning, and it led to secondary infertility.
Wow.
For another 5 years, they did not have any child. No show, nothing. And that was not even the only thing. She was bleeding, she added a lot of weight, like it just turned her whole system around.
It was about to kill her.
Yes, it was about to take her life, and she had to be flown to the UK. And they were like, this is the wrong family planning to give this person who had just had no child. And that is another problem.
Most people, you have to go to a really
good healthcare facility
that understands this thing. Because I remember that the doctor used to say it. When I was working with her, she used to say that they get to test you first to know what works for you.
Exactly.
So even if it works for 1 million women, if they use it for you and you have a problem, they remove it immediately. So if you have to go through family planning, they have to check which is good for you. You understand? So I mean, people, like you said, there's people that have regular menstrual cycles. If you are doing the hormonal, you know that will disrupt your body for a very long time.
Yeah.
So as much as you want to take precautions, not having children immediately, you have to do it properly so that when you are ready, you don't have to go through any problem.
Knowledge is very vital.
Very vital. You wanted to answer?
Yeah, so how do you now handle it when you discovered it? The cycle.
The pregnancy.
When you discovered, Kayode, it's a lonely one. So you know that's a shocker. So how do you handle the shocker?
Imagine you were in school.
Yeah, you're in school.
Your love was not around. Imagine you pregnant alone.
Probably you were in your first trimester, and there are a lot of shenanigans around first trimester. So how did you cope around it?
For one, I would say that it was not physically there, but it was there, because it was always reaching out, and it helped a lot. So I knew that I was not alone in this. Then the second thing is, I think I had to talk to myself at some point, because I told him, I said, I am feeling very terrible that we got pregnant. I know it was not planned, but getting pregnant at this time was like the worst decision we ever made. Of course, I will not say that now. I think it's the best decision we ever made. It's not a decision, but I think it was the best thing that happened to us. It was the perfect timing.
That happened.
Yes.
It happened.
Yes, it happened. But then I felt that this is the very wrong time to be pregnant. Especially when I now discovered that my expected date of delivery will be falling during the exam period, and I felt, will I, because of this pregnancy, have an extra year? This must not happen. So we prayed about it, that the timing should be perfect, and it was actually perfect. But the main way we coped up with this reality is I was not quiet.
Okay.
Immediately I saw the pregnancy test coming back positive, because I didn't know I was pregnant. But people were asking me, why is your breast looking so bigger? And I also noticed that my breast was looking extremely bigger than it used to be. And I told him that, okay, I had the first menses the first month.
Exactly.
So the second month, I missed my menses, and we thought, oh, it's one of those days where it just comes late.
Yeah.
So for another 2 weeks, I did not see it, and so I told him that I want to do a pregnancy test. I went to get the script, did it myself, and it came back positive. And I did not even call him. I called one of his female friends that is like a big sister to me.
Yeah.
And I was crying and I said, hello, Sister Lola. What that people to know you? She was like, what that people to know you? Are you pregnant or you think you are pregnant? Did you do a test? I thought I did a test. She said, what did it? Is it positive? I told her yes. Hey, you are pregnant now? I'm like, no, I cannot say I am pregnant. Like,
Let me pick it from there.
Okay.
Now, so in the previous year, December or thereabout, there had been a scare where we had this near miss, and then we thought, she's pregnant. We're going to use Postinor. And Postinor gets away, it messes with the period, so she went like 45 days instead of the usual 30 days. We had thought she was pregnant. That was when it was shocking for me. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to be a dad. No, I'm not ready for this. Oh God, my finance is a mess. It's going to take over my life. I panicked really. And then, so after that, she didn't even tell me when she saw the message finally. I came to discover. so finally, after that, by the time this now happened, interestingly, what happened then when we actually had when we got pregnant, we didn't know. We thought her game is lit. We thought, as usual, she went back to Ibadan and I'm like, see you again for another time. And so when she called me that 20th of June,
it was on my birthday.
And she started with, she's pregnant. I went silent. No, you can't be pregnant. How can you be pregnant? I thought about the last time we had sex, which was when I went to Ibadan. That was May, right?
May, yes.
And so, I'm moving. So because she saw her menses after that, so we thought we had passed. Once you see the menses, we've gotten over it again. I have a friend I'm always calling from US. I say I've passed again, and that month has gone. So we thought we had passed. So May, when we had sex, she said that she was ovulating, do ejaculate and all that. Sorry, I can't control it. We use Postinor. I gave it to her, and then we went to look for Postinor. Some of these people, they were looking at us like sinners. You don't want to have children. We found the Postinor and made sure we used it. So when she said she hadn't seen her period, I said no, relax. Postinor is full of progesterone.
I am talking from experience.
Experience of like 1 year plus, you're already a bad dog.
It's going to make you feel like you are pregnant. If you did blood test or urine, it's going to come positive because you are pumped up with progesterone. The time has to pass and all that.
He's not a doctor.
She said, but I read engineering medicine with law.
That's what you say. He reads a lot.
So I thought it was the Postinor, and then by the time it was 2 weeks past time, and then I was like, oh no. She said, what are we going to do? I said, until I come over in August, and then we have a scan. I need to see a scan to see it. I called my mom, who said, after all the condoms I gave you. Because I told them, I said, so I am the last born of 5 children. And I said, so my brothers and my sisters, 2 aside, have had children. Forget about me having children. It's not going to happen. And don't ask me about such things. I'm going to take my time. So my mom supported the decision and actually gave. She's a retired nurse, so she went to the hospital, loaded us with condoms and all that. On this occasion, the condom was at Ibadan. We were in PH. In fact, I didn't remember at the time what was going on. So when I got to Ibadan, then we did the scan. Oh my God, she was pregnant. I had enough time to go through it and said, this is really happening to me. I'm just going to have to cope with it. We have learned that lesson. Don't do anything to it. Since you guys are ready, let it come. Let it come. There is nothing. All my friends that I told, they said, don't worry, we have been there. In Kati, Omamade, Lumamua, Laton. What they didn't tell me was that Konimo Pampaswa. So it was, I felt disappointed and I didn't like it. I was like, this was not the plan. You have to change everything you thought you have written and you have figured out. Everything changed.
We had structured our life
completely. So we saw the scan and then
you cannot have total control of your life.
Kept telling myself, okay, we are going to be a parent. It didn't really strike me. Even when I went to the delivery room, I was like, really? Even today, I still look at the boy and I'm like, looks like I'm a dad.
The reality had not set in. No, not yet. I know that I have a child, but I'm not feeling like I am a mom yet.
Sometimes I forget.
I am not feeling like
How
it.
people feel like when you be going doing sweet season everywhere, you got your child. See, you get to church today now, you got the child. So moving forward, this experience, many people have, I know, but many people would have had this kind of experience. Even I'm not even also waiting after having one child or something. I want to have 2 children and it happens again. what will you say that you regret? What will you say? Because like, when we were discussing this behind the scene, you were saying that you felt okay, this is best. It was even a good timing. Eventually, you got to enjoy and like that the fact that you had the child. So, what will you say? What changed your perspective? What did you say? What is the gain? What is this thing? What that gain of having a child?
Towards the pregnancy.
Yeah. What changed your perspective? One, because you said at the point that you were depressed. What changed your perspective? That's one. Number two, what's the gain of having a child? Like personally for me, I realized that I'm not so keen about children, and I don't really like. It's not about the 1 or 2 years. I don't really like. So if you are trying to advise me, like, what is the advantage? What is this? Did you have any special joy? Because I know some people say, they didn't really have children, but they gave birth to the child and they gave them the child to carry. That one girl was like, she felt like that was the most fulfilling period of her life. Some people cry, some people have different emotions. You understand? So, how did you feel? What is it? That thing that about having a child? Is there a special feeling of having a child?
Yeah, for me, I don't think my story is going to be the same with everybody else, because when I discovered I was pregnant, it took me a while to come to terms with it. After I discovered that, after I accepted that I was pregnant, it took me a while to come to terms with the sex of the baby.
It's going to be a boy.
I wanted a baby girl.
You are in the spirit. Oh, Jesus. He touched me. What
was touching you?
That baby boy thing. Oh!
I wanted a baby girl. Even till the delivery day, I was telling my husband that
I have faith.
This is going to be a game.
Said, me, I have faith.
What are you insinuating?
And it was so when I went for scan, I didn't want to go for scan initially. That let me just see whatever comes up. I'll accept my fate. So I went for scan. This anomaly scan is used to detect if the baby has any problem or abnormality. So I went for it at 20 weeks, and the doctor did not know what I had in mind. So he just told me, that's the penis right there. So congratulations, madam, you're having a female. The Oyibo doctor in St. Gregory, that's where we use.
Yeah.
So he told me, congratulations, madam, you're having a baby boy. Your husband has called the clinic. And I did not smile. So the matron beside me was, why are you not happy? Why did you just change your countenance? And I told her, I was hoping for a baby girl, because I had a lot of guys around me growing up. I'm the only girl.
I understand.
Everybody was just there, a guy. I needed somebody I can relate with and at least have a sense of I am not alone. So along the line, the pregnancy, I was, struggling with coming. I told my husband that, are you sure I would like this boy? Like, are you sure I would like this child? And told me that, don't worry, you come to like him and all of that. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. So after I had the baby, the day of the delivery was not the most heartwarming day for me. Because the whole pain, the whole struggle, all I just wanted is let this baby be out. I need some relief. Because I was already tired before the delivery date. I was tired. It was 41 weeks of carrying belly all about. So I was tired, I was exhausted. All I just wanted was the relief. So when the baby came, I'm like, oh, is it fine? Is it okay? It's fine, it's okay. But the day I think my heart melted on having a baby, that I felt very glad as a mother, was the first day he made his first sound. The first day he babbled. And I'm like, he's actually a living being.
Before that, you were doing everything for him.
Yes, I was doing everything. He was not making sound. He was not responding. But the first day he babbled. He did not make a sensible word, but he babbled. And he smiled after I breastfed him. Like, the smile was so heartwarming. Like, there was this satisfaction that came with that smile, and it was like a thank you kind of thing. And I felt very, very happy. Like,
don't chop.
Yeah, so I felt like this is like a good reward for me. At least I know I am doing well. And along the line, all the developmental milestones, is achieving it properly, and he's doing well. And people see him, that kind of thing that you take your child somewhere, even a stranger walks up to you and like, oh God, yeah, exactly. Like, it's so beautiful, and he smiles back at them, and they feel so happy that he's friendly. Everybody says Jaden is friendly, Jaden is calm. He's not a crying baby. So all of those things together, I just think about it and I'm like, God, I am grateful for this child. I know I don't want him, but I am grateful.
I like this.
You understand?
I don't hear this often. So I like it.
So
for me, the game was a bit different. For me, the game, I'm not tricked by any of those things. I'm not tricked by any of those things. I'm thinking about my finance that screwed up. so when she got pregnant, after she told me she was pregnant and then confirmed with the scan.
You want to tell us when you got to when you came to
when I came to terms with it, when I felt okay, this was a good idea. So I thought about it. How did we miss it? Then I realized, it was before the May encounter. That this was not the plan. The delivery happened to be there, and so what was topmost on my chest was let my wife just be fine. I don't know the baby from nowhere. I don't care about the baby from anywhere. Let my wife be fine. So as soon as the baby came out like this, he opened his eyes. Our eyes did 1, 2, 3, 4. It gave me that look of, so I'm stuck with you. You tried to posting on me away, and I'm like, come off it. We'll talk about that later. So we went through all that, and I didn't really feel like I was a dad running around all the night. No, it wasn't so. It was just before the pandemic started. It was like an apocalyptic day. I kept telling myself, no, this was not the plan for it. But then, so as soon as it started growing, I think when he calls me dad, it was sinking completely. But seeing him grow, saying when he smiles at me and there is this way he looks every time I carry him.
And he's smiling.
Every single time without exception. When I pick him up, there is this look on his face that I am yours. He touches my hand. He touches my heart, and that changed my heart. Then besides, we realized, okay, she wanted to have all the children before she's 30. All the children are just 2, they are not 4. All the children before she's 30. And I said, I become to think about it. If we didn't have this boy when we had him, you would have spilled over into 31.
Would have worked, no.
If you would. So come think about it.
So that's last. God has a master plan.
Yes, it does.
And eventually, when you were giving your testimony of your exams, eventually you were still able to write
the exam.
Yes, I was able
to write your exams. God
was
was
fantastic.
able to write your exams. So you had your baby that year. You had a baby that year. You also were able to do your masters. So everything was just.
And I was able to move to my husband's
permanent site.
Yes.
So now, if you following our content from before our wedding till now, you will discover that we did a lot of planning that worked out. Maybe not exactly how we planned it, but most of what we wanted to do, we are doing them because of God.
Yes.
Maybe they didn't work exactly the way we pictured it, but we are getting those milestones. But this is an example of something that you wanted that God did not give you, but gave you something else.
Yeah.
Which is far better.
Yeah.
Right? So that just
like Pastor was preaching today that we live for ourselves. We don't live for ourselves.
Sorry,
we live for the kingdom.
We live for the kingdom.
We live for the kingdom. So in the whole, our marriage is also for God's kingdom.
Yeah.
And having godly children is also God's plan.
Surely.
So of course we plan. You will not say because God is in charge of everything, you don't plan. It's like saying, I will not plan. God is in charge of food. I will not cook anything.
Yes.
You expect that food come to your house.
No, it doesn't work that way.
As much as you plan, you should also give allowance for God to be able to come in to take control of what I want. And when it comes in, all of our fears will actually disappear.
Definitely.
As much as you talk about your finance now, there's no. I've never had it happen that one day there's no food to eat here because you give birth to a baby.
Funny enough, since we had Jaden, I think the first time I ever bought Pampers for him was when he was 5 months old. All the Pampers he used for the first 5 months was gifts from people.
Wow.
People were just blessing us. Clothing. I've not gone to markets for a major clothing shopping for him. So like the gift has been coming in. We've been blessed. Every money people send to him, he already has an account for it. Because we said that we are not going to touch his money. It's his money. So he will grow up to meet it with the little we put in the account too. So he grew up to meet it. So it has been, like you will say that this is an evidence of God's faithfulness. So I was telling my husband, I think that was 2 months ago, that all these atheists that says there's no God, what exactly are they thinking? Do they go through all these things we are going through? Because everything is an evidence of God's faithfulness, is a sign to tell you that God has your best interest at heart.
Yeah, so me, I'm of the opinion that it doesn't make sense. That's just my opinion. It doesn't make sense to get pregnant immediately after marriage.
No.
Because for us,
It doesn't.
I want to have sex. I want to do all the gymnastics. I want to do things. I want to baptize everywhere in the house, the kitchen, the
You have a
rug.
partner here.
I've not been able to do that, but the car. I've not done it.
You should.
I think we did that.
Oh Lord. I'll collect past questions.
Oh, you should. Yeah, I'm
That's
actually.
adventurous.
The problem I have is I'm very adventurous. My head is.
It is adventurous. I think it's a man's thing.
You have to be
Then
creative.
maybe
It's adventurous.
Then the point of maybe because if you have a very conservative background,
Yes.
you are both from,
Yes.
you are both from God family background.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's
Somebody is
why.
hearing me, oh, somebody will hear me when you're
Exactly.
It happened recently.
Even sometimes
I was
we go to
making-
hotel,
I was
I'm not able to free myself
Then go look
and
that. Do they have some?
that hotel, I'm free in the hotel. When they have, ask
They
somebody
have
just
some
pass.
proof. See, they are working in our house, construction something.
Oh, okay.
I was now doing Ogbeni saying, people now. I say, am I raping my
express
girlfriend?
yourself. That's why we tell me, express yourself. Let me know I am doing a good job.
Exactly. Let me know I'm hitting the heat.
That's the truth now. If I'm getting to the kingdom must react. So you get, so that's weird. So sex immediately. I mean, sorry, sex.
Children.
Pregnancy immediately after marriage, it doesn't make sense to me because you are just getting married. You are trying to conform to your bodies.
Especially if you have not been sexually active before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But even in the case where one person is sexually active and has experience, the other person does not have the experience.
The other person has
The
to
experience
come
is
to
useless.
that level that you have reached at
Even
least.
sex in marriage is different from sex outside.
It's different.
It
It's
is
different.
actually.
It's different.
It is.
Very
So
different.
that's why. But at the end of the day, God will do what He wants to do. But doesn't mean that.
You should not make
So
sense.
yeah, that's why I want us to balance it because we also have that perspective. When getting pregnant immediately after marriage doesn't make. I've seen people do it, works for them, but me, I'm not ready to test if it will work for
Yeah,
me. Or not.
I know many people who had that experience and they regret it.
Yeah,
Understand?
true.
Many people will not tell you. They will feel that children are blessings of God.
Actually.
They don't want to tell you because it's not something that people want to hear. You understand? So that's it. Plan as much as possible not to have. If you have to go to a hospital, whatever it is you have to do,
Yeah,
plan.
do it right.
Do it right. Don't succumb to pressure. It's your life.
Yes,
Your parents
yes.
would have children when they want to have children.
Aside from parents, there are some sisters that you are not seeking for their help. They will tell you that they are putting you in their pressure point. We are praying for you. We are trusting God for your life.
That will not even give you 5 naira when you give birth to the child.
Exactly. We are praying for you.
Childbirth.
Even beyond money, there's a psychological aspect, both for the mother
The support.
and for the husband.
Yeah.
Because when the mother is going through depression and stuff, right, the husband is not enjoying it.
It's not.
So because okay, I don't want to say some things, but the truth is she's depressed, she's going through pains, and you are there. You can't remove the pain from her.
You can't do anything. It's also pain for
So
your...
it's mental.
It's mean-
So you are thinking about how what can I do? You are looking for money because at that time she cannot work. And then because she's pregnant and going through depression and stuff, does not mean that bills will not pile up.
No.
Does
Yeah.
not mean if you're a business person like us,
People will not
your
come.
staff will not collect salary because who send you to have sex?
Really.
Your landlord. So on both ends there is that pressure. So I think so. Eventually, so one has to be ready for it, like you said. One has to be deliberate about it, plan the money, plan the emotions.
In
Of
fact,
course, when you're ready,
sorry, I will suggest that if you are getting married, as much as you are ready to spend the millions of naira on your marriage, if you are not the type that has one savings account where your parents had piled up billions for you, please put some money aside for childbearing and his relatives. It's very important. It's a lot of money.
It's not cheap. And you don't know how your body
very-
you don't know how your body
you
will
don't
react.
know. You
Some
don't
people have to
know.
take drugs.
Some
for
has
the
to
9
be
months.
in the hospital
For the 9
throughout
months. Some
on
have to
bed
be
rest.
on special medication. It is not cheap.
yeah, and for ladies, your pregnancy may not be like your mom's pregnancy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
please, no assumptions.
Yeah.
Then so one thing I wanted to add is, so there are people who are adamant on, no, as soon as I get married I must start having children, probably because they feel age is not on their side. Oh, I'm already 32, what am I waiting for, and all that. It's okay. I think one thing that's necessary is to plan and be prepared for it.
Before even
Think
getting
about
married.
the repercussions, because when two people, you are not planning to be responsible to the child. So by the time two of you are coming together, you just got married, you are trying to figure each other out. I'll tell you this, even couples, there are people who say we want to be living lovers so that I can get to know you well before we decide to commit. I have seen that almost 100% of the time. The moment those people who have been living together for 11 years decide to commit to marriage, problem starts. Things that are not there, because there's a thing about commitment to marriage. There is this, I've declared to you, it's got to be.
So there's a debt.
Yeah.
No debt.
Before that, prior to the time, there's that time that you know I can leave. You know you can leave.
Even though you are doing all those things.
Sure you get, but once there is that commitment, there is a new
Like
you are
unconscious.
stuck.
that comes into it, and it makes things complex. So you guys are just getting to figure. You drop a child into it, and it's like creating a storm where there needs to be. So you must be prepared for it if you want it to be immediate.
And people should discuss it. I figure that people don't talk about they don't.
They're going to Mr. Biggs and to meeting the
You have to talk about it.
Yeah, we have discussed it before. During courtship, talk about sex, talk about childbearing. And
Not just how many children do we want to have. When do we want it?
So
me, what are the
personally,
plans?
Personally, when people talk about children, how children are more important than their spouse, there's this perspective around here in this society that you are married for children, and when you have the children, the husband takes the child more seriously than the wife, or the wife takes the children more seriously than the husband. It's my wife first before any child.
See us now, we are slaying. If you are not told, you will know that we have a baby.
I met your mom before meeting you. You are alive because I met your mom.
Exactly.
So don't bring shenanigan here. I can. Do you get? So now, why would I, in my world, second citizen, change my life when I'm ready?
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying I will love my son and my daughter. That's not negotiable. But I'm saying that my wife comes first. That is why we must talk about it. We must be ready. I must put her first. She must put me first in the equation of childbearing. Because the child is coming to change our lives, and he or she is a second citizen.
Yeah.
Who will back at things or his things and leave after 18, 20 years?
He's going to leave after 20 years. He's going to remain me and my husband,
Exactly.
my wife. That's why I don't understand when women glorify their children at the expense of their marriage, or why men glorify their children at the expense of their marriage.
Yeah.
It is your children that should come. I don't want to go into a new topic, but you get my point. So that's why we all have to plan, and we have come to the end of our today.
Today's very interesting.
She has a blog.
Yeah.
Please check her out. What's the name of her blog?
Exhibat TV.
Please check her out on this YouTube.
It's one of my favorite TV channel because it talks about motherhood. Challenges that you face from beginning to the end. She talks about it. So guys, get on that. After listen to this, go there, go and listen to it so that you understand all the
Exhibat. Okay, you guys will leave the spelling.
So that you will, in case what this is what I'm saying, you're not convinced that you say you want to get married, you want to have child immediately. Go and listen to all the things. After listening, you can't come back and now answer me if you want to have a child immediately.
When I saw her channel, I was very happy.
Yeah.
You know, she did that video.
She was one of us. Yes, true. During that corona season,
yes, I was a
I'm following her channel.
She's our product. I'm graduate. Thank you guys for coming today.
Thank you very much.
I really hope you guys have learned from this. Drop your questions, drop your comments. What you think about it? If you think you are supposed to have a child immediately, if you think that the children come with their money, the money that they used to spend, if you think so.
So share, like, comment,
subscribe.
You know our email address. Send emails to us.
Is it by force?
It's by force. I'm changing it now.
See ya. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.